Hello and welcome into this beautiful Tuesday morning, the April 23rd, 4th and 11 show. I am your host, Jacob Steiner here. Busy day in the sports world. Obviously, some good and some bad, at least for me. The Stars won, moving on. Yay, first time we clinched in a while, blah, blah, blah. Rockets, that understandably, I'm not too worried about it because we're up 3-0. If this was like a game 7 and we put up that crap show, then maybe I would have a problem and I would be talking about this, or I'll be talking about that game a little bit more. But it's going to be a small piece of the show because it's only game 4. And, I mean, there's never been a time to where a team has come back from 3-0 in the NBA. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's really fine. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Jacob Steiner to get any sports info or ask me any questions that you want on the show about sports, or if you have any ideas that we can do on the show to make this show better for y'all to listen to, always hit me up there at Jacob Steiner on Twitter. No real birthdays on today. And what I'm saying is no real birthdays, meaning no one that we really care about to say something to. But if I forgot some, just please let me know. I mean, I know that there's probably someone out there that's like, oh, this person did that, put them on, But, whatever. Want to say that I made a mistake. Boston Bruins, I said that they made it into the next round just real quick. But then, I heard that they did or something. I thought I heard that I did. And, it was during the halftime show, the Dallas Stars game, or not Dallas Stars, Vegas Knights game, and I was like, they made it, yay! I can talk about the Bruins making it, yeah. Boston, everything's gone good up there. No, they just forced a game 7. Sorry, Boston used to have another game on tonight against the Maple Leafs. So at least you're at home for that one, but the Bruins can make it in the second round if they just show up. Really, Boston Bruins have a pretty good home team, and they're looking to take down the Maple Leafs. But, hey, I admit it. I made a mistake. It's all right. It's all right. We'll move on. We'll go on to the next topic. My boy Russell Wilson buys each of his offensive linemen, not like a diamond, not like a sports car, not a sports memorabilia, whatever. I don't care. He doesn't buy that. He buys $12,000 in stock, Amazon stock, for each one of his offensive linemen because of his big contract. And I get that he wants to celebrate with his offensive lineman, but his offensive lineman's trash. Second off, why buy stock? I mean, if I'm an offensive lineman, I'm like, Amazon stock's going down, but I didn't buy this, and it's kind of affecting me, and I don't want to sell it because, oh, hey, Russell Wilson, my quarterback, my brother, basically, my teammate, he bought it for me. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to be like, hey, yeah, like, this is really hurting me financially, so I'm going to have to sell it. Be like, I bought that for you. No, probably Russell Wilson's probably an understanding guy when it comes to that, but, $12,000 each for 5 offensive linemen. I'm not going to do the math there, but you can add it up. It's probably a lot, and congrats out to Russell Wilson. He wants to give gifts out to his guys for giving him a $140 million contract for 4 years. A big, whopping contract. But you know who else has a big contract? Yankees outfielder Giancarlo Stanton. A quick stat. He gets paid $26 million like a year or something. That's $2 million more than every outfielder that they played last night makes combined. Obviously, the Yankees have won 4 straight. They played well. They've, still not at the top of their division. Still not, but they're playing well, and they still do not have Jacoby Ellsbury, 60-day DL. Stan, 10-day DL. Judge, 10-day DL. Molina, day-to-day, obviously, but most of their outfielders gone. And they're still winning ball games. You got to give props out to Aaron Boone. You got to give props out to the franchise. You got to give out props to the players, but they played a terrible Angels team last night. They obviously won. Props out to them, but Yankees, Without their best outfielders have put up 4 straight wins, and also without 2 of their greatest players. Because besides Aaron Sanchez or someone, no, Gary Sanchez. I mean, who are you gonna call out and be like, hey, this guy's an all-star? Didi? No. I mean, Didi's a good player, but he's not like Aaron Judge or Stan or Jose Altuve or Francisco Lindor or Mike Trout or someone. He's not that type of level. He's a good player, but he's not that type of level. And yet the Yankees have pulled out and they've won. They've had some injury problems, and we'll see if that continues for them. They definitely need it. They're still not in first place. I think they're right at the 500 level, so we'll see what happens with them. But good for them. Good. Props to you. Keep it going. I wish my Astros could keep it going, but after they had that winning streak, they've fallen apart as well. But Bryce Harper, buddy, I get that you want to just talk about your teammates, and that's a bad call. But I had this discussion with the fans yesterday about ref. You gave a bad call, you don't call it out. You don't. I mean, he came back and he said, "Yeah, I gotta be smart. I gotta stay in the ball game. I can't just come running out and being like, screw you, ref. I don't like that call. No, you just gotta sit back. You gotta relax. You gotta." Stay on the field for your team. You can't just get riled up because, look, that's just a terrible decision. I get that you want to just show respect for your teammate, but you came running out of your dugout right after your manager, and you're just like yelling in his face, and immediately just got ejected. Gone. Bye. Bye-bye. You're gone. And it's just like, what? Excuse me? Like, this is, I mean, I think that was like the 3rd or 4th inning. You still have 6 more innings to go. Well, not 16. 5 more innings to go. And it's like, what? The mother effing whatever you want to say. I don't care. Bryce Harper, what's going through your mind, buddy? I mean, the fans, one thing. When I'm talking about the fans yesterday, is saying that they're making all these noise and they're doing stupid, arrogant stuff. Yeah, the fans are one thing. They can get ejected and the team can still win. Bryce Harper, the Phillies probably can't win a lot of games without you. I mean, they won 82 games last year, I think. But they wanted you to come in to help them get over that hump to 100 wins. And if you're not there because you got ejected for bad mouths at the hump, that's on you, buddy. That's on you. And that's not a knock against you. Bryce Harper, yeah, great player. Everyone has a knock, and I get, like, when there's a bad call, yeah, I do want to argue, but I know my restraints. I know when to shut up, especially with a bad call. I might come back after the game and just yap. I might call you on Twitter, but that's after the game. And as long as I don't get ejected or fined like the Brooklyn Nets for bad tweets or bad calls or calls against the in a press conference, I'm fine with it. I can talk smack all I want. But when it comes to ending the game and I'm trying to win the ball game and I'm trying to stay in, I'm staying in the dugout and I'm just holding up my hands like, what? Oh, that's a bad call. Like, oh, what? Yeah. All right, you looking at me? I'll back off. All right, I'll back off. Because, that's a stupid decision. You still got 5 more innings to go or 6 more innings to go, and you're yap. Shut your trap. And he paid for it. And that one, obviously, rough go at it for Bryce Harper. I need to. I don't know why. I was watching the game last night. I don't know why I didn't remember the score. But Bryce Harper, yeah, the Phillies lost 5-1. But Bryce Harper, man, you gotta stay in that game. You can't do stupid crap like that. Restrain yourself, like take a breather. Umps make bad calls. That's why we're human. I made a bad call as that the Boston Bruins were in the playoffs or in the second round. I'm only human. I made a bad call. If we weren't like that was a robot that made that call, and like those robots are trained to do a like really great job. They know the strike zone. They have like a photo just right there. They know where the strike zone is. Then yeah, you can go ahead and say, yeah, that's a stupid call. Stupid call. Your system's malfunctioning, MLB. But no, this is a real person who has real feelings, and he's gonna eject you if you come up to his face and you're gonna say something, and you're gonna feel sorry for it. And he came out and he felt sorry about it because he got ejected out of the game early, and he should have been there for his team. Would this have been a different ball game if Bryce Harper didn't go? I mean, the rest of the other team wasn't really hitting, so why do you think that maybe Bryce Harper could have helped? I mean, maybe if they got a few guys on base and Bryce Harper was up and he had a home run, maybe. But the Phillies lost anyway, 5-1. They're still playing the Mets tonight, and we'll see what Bryce Harper has to say if that ump is still out there making bad calls. It'll be fun to see. I mean, Bryce Harper, you need to get a chill pill. Relax. It's okay. Bucks sweep the Pistons. Bye-bye. Y'all haven't won a playoff series in forever. Feels like y'all haven't won a playoff series since the Bad Boys, but no, it's been since Chauncey Billups days. Oh, man, I remember those days. The good days for Detroit. And I wasn't a Detroit fan. I'm just saying that, they were the best team on NBA Live 05 when I got that video game as a child, and I was playing that. It's like, they're the best team. I'm going to create a player. I'm going to create me, and I'm going to put them on the Pistons. We're going to go out the way. Yeah, so, I mean, the Pistons were not really my team. I loved the Rockets more, but, when it came to my player, and my team for my player was the Pistons. And, so I got to know those players, and Richard Hamilton, Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, a lot of good players on that squad, and they obviously won a championship as well. Could have won 2, could have won 3. Who knows what they could have done? But the Pistons, man, they've just fallen apart. Dwayne Casey could not, with a healthy Blake Griffin in the final few games, could not get past the Bucks. The Bucks move on to the Celtics, the only two teams that have swept the series. Move on, and they move on to face each other. Obviously, the Bucks 2-1 in the season against the Celtics this year. So we'll see what happens in that one. A good matchup, probably 7 games, probably going to go down to the wire. Or unless Giannis has a new beast mode switch and he's just going to turn it on. He's just going to score a crap ton of points, and he's just going to win every single game for the Bucks this postseason. But Celtics on fire, Bucks are on fire. Bucks were down in that game, but they came back and won in a big way. So nothing really. I mean, the Pistons need to regather yourself. I mean, if the Pistons probably just got a point guard. Good point guard, they might be, a 6 or 5 seed, because they do have the middle, or they do have the center, the power forward, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, whatever, mounts and down. They don't have any problems there. I mean, besides injury concerns for Blake Griffin. But point guard and guard play definitely need to be fixed. They're not going to be out there for John Morant. They're going to be probably looking for point guard free agency. Can they get Kyrie? Probably not. But, I mean, if they can, I mean, that could really, really, really help the Pistons move into the second round maybe. And we'll see what happens with them in the offseason, because it's an early offseason for the Pistons. Everyone else had an earlier offseason, but they are the second team to go. The Pacers exited first, due to the schedule, but both teams, Pacers and Pistons got swept. They both suck. Obviously injuries with Victor Oladipo really kind of hindered the Pacers, and a bad matchup against the Celtics, who came out the gates hot in the playoffs. Hot, hot, hot. But you know who was hot? The Rockets. They were hot for about 2 games, and then the third game they were kind of getting there, but they won 3 straight. They're kind of hot at the end of the season as well, and then they, knock on wood, they just could not win. And let's hope it not goes into the next game. Let's hope it doesn't. Well, then, because it's not really a new ball game. It's 3-1 and then it's 3-2. They're gonna have to win it on the road in Houston in Game 5 on Wednesday. So highly unlikely the Jazz will win, but we'll see if they can. The Rockets can pull it out. James Harden with 8 turnovers. He obviously had a better shooting night. He was like 8 for 16, something like that. So I need to go back and look at that, but he had like 30-something points. Pretty good, but 8 turnovers. Not really that great for him. Donovan Mitchell getting help, and I've said this plenty of times before, they can't continue to just run straight through Donovan Mitchell. Donovan got some help. He had like 31 points. Jay Crowder had 23 points, and Ricky Rubio had 18, and also Derek Favors had like 12 off the bench. So some pretty good help for them as they, kick the Rockets' butt. And, the Jazz are still not going to probably win this series. Knock on wood. Hopefully they don't. Don't want to jinx anything. You don't want to be the laughing stock of the league and have a meme going first round 3-0. Rockets looking very likely to win it. It's never been done before, and you lose 3-0. They come back and they force Game 7. It's happened, but Rockets went like over 14 in 3-point attempts in the fourth quarter. Trash. Last time that someone did worse, the Rockets did worse. 0 for 27, and every Rockets fans know that 0 for 27 last year against the Warriors was trash. And we'll hope that the Rockets don't continue to do that. But when I saw that stat come up on the screen, I was like, this last year when I saw that stat come up on the screen, they were like 0 for 21. I'm like, damn, why do we keep shooting threes then? Like, what the heck? They're not falling. And then this stat comes up on the screen this year, and I'm like, deja vu, here we go. Yeah, they're missing threes, and they're going to continue to shoot. We're not going to win this game. And just shut off my phone, and obviously they did not win. But, a rough stretch. A rough stretch. And we'll see what the Rockets can do in Game 5 on Wednesday, obviously. The Clippers trying to stay alive as well in Game 5 against the Warriors on the road. So we'll see what both those teams can do. And, it's all good. It's all good in Houston right now until something even more drastic happens. NHL Hurricanes force Game 7. Just like their counterparts, Boston Bruins and the San Jose Sharks. They all have forced Game 7s. Alex Ovechkin was not happy with that blatant interference call or goalie interference on that goal that he had. But, he did reach in and he did try to get that puck in. He pushed the goalie out the way. It could really go either way. Obviously, Ovechkin was not happy. But now the Capitals have to come out and they have to play strong at home against the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes obviously came out firing late last night. They were up it was 2-2, and they scored I think four or three unanswered goals against the Caps, and the Caps, the defending champs, trying not to go home early. The Hurricanes trying to stay alive in that playoff. So Canes versus Caps. And that's going to be a doozy, but we'll see what happens. Stars, love it. It was a long game waiting for someone to score. Obviously, we defended well. We did not score very well. 2-1, but we are not known for our scoring. We are known for our defense. Obviously, and a funny little stat, The Predators, well, they end the season without scoring a goal on their power plays. In the playoffs, they were like 0 for 16 on power plays in the playoffs, and that was just terrible. They had like 26 minutes or something, a power play minute, and they couldn't get anything done. They had 2 or 3 last night, and they couldn't get it done. The Stars had like 1, and hey, the Stars get it done late in that game. Obviously, I'm proud. I'm proud to see that we're moving on. St. Louis, watch out because we're ready. I'm hyped. Let's do this. Round 2. First time we've won a play or closed out a playoff series at home since '08. So it's been a while, 11 years. I don't remember quite where I was last time they did that, but I know I was really, really, really young, and I probably didn't care about NHL as I do today. But it's a fun night. Me and Steven were, high five and cheering. I mean, obviously he's gonna have more high fiving and cheering if the Knights win tonight, and I hope that I'm not gonna win all day, and hope that they don't lose tonight. We don't want to jinx them. Knights. Come on, pull it out for Steven so he doesn't have a bad show. Not wanting if y'all want Steven to talk about the Knights or playoffs or NHL playoffs, you better have you better hope that the Knights win tonight. San Jose, we'll see what happens tonight. That one's in San Jose as well. So the Knights did not close it out at home like they should have, and now they got a little harder test, but we've seen the Knights pull out things before. I mean, obviously last year they were the underdog, and this year they can be the underdog as well. They are the underdog tonight against the San Jose Sharks. MLB games to watch for tonight: Texas and Oakland. Lance Lynn versus Frankie Montas on tonight. Oakland and Texas in the middle of the AL West division race, but they're behind the Astros, who have fallen apart. They're playing a good Minnesota Twins team tonight. Seattle, obviously, has continued to win for some odd reason. They've lost a lot of people. I don't really, remember they lost Nelson Cruz. They lost like a whole bunch of people, but they continue to win. And Texas looking to continue that. Oakland at home trying to, pull out and, stay alive in this division race. But still early, still a lot of games left, more than 100 games left. And both teams are ready to go and fighting for that division spot. Texas can definitely move up a spot if the Astros lose tonight. Texas probably going to cheer for Minnesota, and they probably actually don't really care about the game because it's still early on in the season. They don't really need to, fight for that playoff spot as long as they continue winning and just stay on that stretch. The Rangers looking pretty good. Oakland, they've been off and on. We'll see what happens with that one. Milwaukee and St. Louis. St. Louis got a pretty big 7th inning in that last night game. Got a glimpse of that in between the Stars and Preds game, but Milwaukee looking to bounce back and maybe find a way to win in St. Louis. Zach Davies versus DeLone on the mound tonight. DeLone getting his first start, but we'll see what happens with that game. Obviously, it's a big one for both teams because they're trailing Pittsburgh, who was also facing Arizona after Pittsburgh lost pretty bad. I was looking for games to watch last night after, this period number 1 and the Stars and Preds game ended. I was looking for games to watch and obviously saw some of the scores, and it was like 12-1 Arizona. I was like, yeah, I'm not watching the Pittsburgh game. But Pittsburgh at home trying to hold off the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are trying to, win, or continue winning. They are 12 wins, and they're trying to stay alive in that NL West. And they have Luke Weaver on the mound tonight against Trevor Williams for Pittsburgh. So we'll see what happens there. The final game to watch is Minnesota and Houston, mostly because Houston needs to win. They've lost quite a bit since they won 10 straight or 11 straight. They have dropped one out of their last one out of their last four, losing two against the Rangers and one against the Minnesota Twins last night. So they're 1-3 in their last four games. We'll see what they can pull out of their hat of tricks tonight. They didn't play bad. They just pitched bad last night. Wade Miley on the mound tonight. Michael Pineda for the Minnesota Twins. Yeah, it's going to be a fun little game. We'll see what happens. Both teams needing to win. Minnesota trying to stay alive in the AL Central, and the Astros trying to win to stay alive in the AL West. It's going to be a fun little game. NBA games to watch. Portland trying to close out the series against the Thunder. 3-1. We'll see if the Portland Trailblazers can do that at home in the Moda Center, and we'll see what all these other games. I mean, besides Spurs and Nuggets, every other game is a closeout game. Let's see if the Raptors can close out the Magic at home, and if the 76ers can close out the Nets at home, and we will get to know our second round matchups more in depthly for tomorrow's show. If both Raptors and 76ers win tonight, we will know all the Eastern Conference second round teams for tomorrow. If we'll see. Not gonna try to jinx anyone. Spurs and Nuggets obviously tied 2-2. That one's going back to Denver for Game 5. We'll see what happens with that one. I mean, a lot of games on tonight. Obviously, not a lot of games on last night, but we'll see NHL games on, not a lot. Knights versus Sharks and Maple Leafs versus Bruins, both Game 7s. Both crucial for every team. Both trying to win it. It's Game 7. It's fun. It's alive. It's the atmosphere. It's hockey. It's whatever. When big hits happen, it's going, ooh, yeah, let's go. Ooh, yeah. It's happened with every other sports. Game 7 is always fun, and then your team loses, and then it's just like, what the world? But then you know that your team gave you the most effort. They just ran into a tough spot, and we'll see what happens with the Knights and Sharks. Steven, I hope that you are able to cheer on your Knights tonight and have them win. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Obviously, Steven will be right next to me on the Wake and Make Show with Steven and Jake every single Friday morning. So start off right every Friday right here. Obviously, draft talk, NHL talk, all whatever you want to talk about on the show right then. And obviously, we have a good top 5 for y'all this week. And if you don't want to watch the Wake and Make Show, come back every weekday, Monday through Thursday, for my show, 4th and 11, here to talk about every other sport that Steven does not want to talk about. So I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night, and I'll talk to y'all on Wednesday.